Mike's story with his family just had me in tears. Do you know every single speaker here puts me in tears? Does that happen to anyone else, or am I weird? And I recognize that's a good thing, because I always wonder, why do I get teary-eyed? Because I'm very emotional, kind of like a woman, right? Like, I'll cry a lot. Like, I don't plan to cry, but I realize what it is and the reason why, and I just wanted to share that. Something that I recognize is when my spirit recognizes truth, I get emotional. So you may see me get emotional tonight. Anyone else that way? And actually, last time I spoke in Austin, who was in Austin? Raise your hand. Wow. Yeah, up there too. If you were in Austin, raise your hand so I can see. I remember being on stage, the largest crowd until now, right? And I brought up a teammate who happened to be deaf. His name is David Gadici. Anyone remember that? One of the most transformational moments in my life is just seeing the success of everybody transform from event to event to event to event. And I had the privilege of meeting a new teammate I didn't even sponsor. One of my homeboys, one of my best friends I've known for a long time. His name is Jin. Hua. Where are you at, brother? Somewhere around here. And he introduced me to somebody that he sponsored, right? Because now he's stepping up, going to the events, and become a very phenomenal leader like I always knew he would. Because now he believes he is. Because he is. Because he's here. Does everyone here believe that they can do this now? And so Jin was telling me he had a teammate that he just personally sponsored, and this teammate happens to be blind. And I just had the privilege to meet him, and he has like a walking stick, and I'm like, that's maybe him. So I'm like, hey buddy, are you Ollie? And he's like, yes. Justin. And I'm like, yes. And what's so magical about this particular story is not only is he here and he's blind, he's all in. So Jin sponsors this guy, right? Due to the awesome leadership from my homeboy. And then he rolls up to me at the 15K level and the Masters level, which I'm so grateful for, and I appreciate you for that. And so I was talking to him, and I must tell you this. After talking to Ollie, and I don't know where you're at, brother, just raise your hand if you're in the crowd right now. And I had a conversation with him for about 5 minutes, and he has more faith than anyone I know. Yes. And he's blind. You know what I mean? That's powerful. I know you're a leader, Ollie, wherever you are in here, and I'm impressed at the fact you had no excuses, and I'm like, what made you decide to get here? You just joined. You didn't join last year. He just joined. I'm like, you're here. You're all in. Why'd you do that? And he says, I believe I can do this. And I'm just following your footsteps. And whatever you tell me to do, Justin, and whatever Jin tells me to do, I'm going to do it. So that's the success formula. To become successful, just follow successful people and do exactly what they say. How many people here want to be a millionaire? I do too. I'm not a millionaire yet. I'm on track. I'm sure by the end of the year, my wife and I will make over $1 million. No doubt in my mind. But because I'm modeling after people like Vic, because he's making $1 million, I have faith that I can become a millionaire, right? You can become a millionaire. Because now you know the secrets of the universe, right? That's how simple it really is. I remember growing up, I was just so different, so I was made fun of my whole life. I'd start sharing how meditation was changing my life, and people just make fun of me, like, why are you meditating? You know what I mean? You're not getting what you want, you're just wasting your time. And it was just like, it got to the point where I didn't want to convince somebody to meditate anymore, because I found meditation. I'm not trying to force something upon anyone, but you know what's kind of funny, and I just wanted to share this. Now that I'm making money, I get about 100 emails a day. How do you meditate, Justin? How do you meditate? I do the same thing I did back then, right? So it's just really funny how you gain influence and how the Empower Network has gave us influence, right? And that's a powerful phase or place to be when you have influence over other people, because you can help people have breakthroughs the same way you're having breakthroughs this weekend. If you've had a breakthrough already, raise your hand. I gotta see. So just about everybody here has had some breakthroughs, right? That is powerful, and that's why we're at these events. So I remember growing up, and I got into real estate. I dropped out of not high school, maybe I was high in school. Actually, that's a bit though. That's not true. But nonetheless, I go to high school, and I barely passed. I just got by. I remember going to summer school because I failed Spanish, right? And it's kind of funny. I wish I paid attention, because now I live in Colombia, and I don't speak any Spanish. We've lived in Costa Rica for years. I still don't speak Spanish. But I think it's kind of cool that you don't have to know a lot of things to live, to the lifestyle that maybe you want to live. But I had a passion, and I wanted something more in my life. Does anyone here have a passion and you know your calling is more than like a 9 to 5? Yeah, everybody here, right? And I remember working my first job at Mickey D's. Anyone been to McDonald's? You ever see the guy flipping the burgers? That was me, that was my first job. And the reason that I went to college because I wanted something more, but then I got introduced to real estate. I got in the real estate industry. Long story short, because I don't have a lot of time, and it's kind of sad, but I ended up $500,000 in debt about 6 years ago, and I was very young. Anyone in here ever been in debt before? Anyone been in debt $500,000? It's a cold, cold, cold place to be, because you don't know what are you going to do to pay it off. Because if you get a job, you're going to be in debt for the rest of your life. So that was not an option, right? So I got into network marketing. About 2006, my uncle invited me to a restaurant. Anyone done a restaurant meeting before you got suckered into? They're like, why don't you come for dinner? I'll buy you dinner. I'm like, really? I'll buy you dinner? I'll be there. You know what I mean? We get there, there's about 20 people eating dinner, and then all of a sudden they're showing us how to make some money. And I'm like, okay, I was actually looking to make money, right? Because I didn't have any other options, and I didn't know nothing about network marketing. So I got started, and again, long story short, I struggled in network marketing until Empower Network. I'd get my highest ever, my highest ever was at the Sears Tower. We were just like in the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere. But nonetheless, my highest income I've ever generated online, or not even online, just in network marketing, was about $4,000. And it took me 2 years working full-time. I'm the type of guy that I'll work 24 hours until I pass out if I believe in something. So I would work my ass off, and the saddest thing in life to me when I was in network marketing was not the fact that I couldn't break through and, I'd have to start over because the company owners, as Dave Sharp says, they break a nail and they go under, right? And it's kind of sad. But what was the saddest part for me, and I can relate to Mike a lot, is the fact that my team wasn't succeeding. And how can they succeed, right? How can your team succeed if I'm working 24 hours a day and they have a job? And you're right there, they had no chance. Because it's very difficult to succeed in the industry when you get paid $1.50 a bottle on auto ship. Anyone know that? Right? And so you have to build a team in the thousands, just to make a few $1,000s. So that's the sad part. So here I am, $500,000 in debt, and I realized my only out was network marketing, because the job wasn't going to do that for me. Then we're going to fast forward to 3 years ago. Me and my wife decided to move to China. Actually, I decided we're going to move to China. She didn't want to go, I'll just be honest with you, right? And the reason we went to China was because I was struggling to make money online. I just couldn't crack the code. And so therefore, we had an opportunity to teach English just so we can get